Snack time. I'm your host, Marno, and joining us today is my friend Ben, who is sharing his snack, strawberries. Ben, hello, how are you?
Strawberries. I'm back.
You're back. Ben, for those of you who have not heard your other episode, we need to know, are you a salty or sweet snacker?
I actually remember last time I was very conflicted, but I've thought about it. I can't remember even what I said last time. I think I want to say sweet this time. I'm
Wow.
evolving.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I always say, like day to day, moment to moment, I'm going to be craving different things. That's
Yeah.
just like, that's facts are facts.
Yeah. And also
So,
last time I brought on pretzels.
mhm.
So for those of you who don't remember, I was the pretzel guy. And
The
this time I'm
pretzel.
bringing on strawberries, and those are two very different snacks. And
Mhm.
so maybe I'm just like feeling it more in the sweet section, right now,
Yeah.
which is fun.
And I don't know if you mentioned this on the other episode, but I do know that you love to snack on strawberries
Yeah.
because this is like such a fixture in your life. So, like give us the background of this love affair with strawberries because I know they are like a staple. Like every time you go to the grocery store, you
Yes.
get strawberries.
I get strawberries, and I have a lot to say about this ritual in my life where I go and buy strawberries because I will say this is like really bad, and this is like wrong for the environment and for people who are hungry and all of these things. This is really bad. I hate to admit it, but I will. Um, I buy strawberries about like 50% more times than I actually eat the strawberries. Like I will buy them and they will sit in my refrigerator. And if I don't cut them up and eat them like immediately, they start to go bad and they start to
Mm,
they're just not good anymore. And then I have to throw them away. So I've been making it like a personal goal when I buy strawberries to like eat them within the first few days. Um, and
that's
part of the
good.
reason that I don't eat them in the first few days is because they kind of are a lot of work because I am the kind of baby who cuts off the tops like this.
Oh yeah, that is a
I
lot
cut off
more
the
work.
tops.
I just have mine like I just rinse the wait, did I rinse them? Yeah, I did. I rinsed them. I was like, hold on a second. Um and then I just like eat it to the green part.
Yeah, I should do that, but I cut them off in advance, which makes it like a higher barrier to entry.
Yes. I
And
mean as ridiculous as it sounds, I agree. Like you can't just grab
yeah,
them and go. And even with like they're not even really grab and go at the simplest level because I still had to rinse these, dry them off.
yes, you have to rinse them. Yeah, I don't dry them off. I think I like them wet. Like
Okay,
I
that's a
like when I
choice.
pick it up. I like it when I pick it up and a drop of water falls off.
It feels extra fresh. Like you just like were on the farm and like hosed them down.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it feels like. I feel like I'm in like a tropical rainforest eating
Or like
strawberries.
super cottagecore vibes, like
Yeah.
cottagecore on TikTok.
Wait, what is cottagecore? Because I love TikTok.
Oh my god, okay. It's probably because you don't get like lesbian sapphic cottagecore like
I get
demographic.
I get purely men's bodies.
Okay. We're on very different TikToks.
Like it's purely gay content, but they're not even always gay.
Okay, so I sometimes the gay content that I get, well, like men gay content, I guess,
Okay.
or like
Yeah.
mask gay, um, is like usually drag related or
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
very flamboyant.
Yeah.
But then the gay like girl TikTok I
TikTok.
get is every single fucking variety. I get butch, I get like androgynous, cottagecore, like scene, essentially like every brand of
Okay. So
sapphic.
is cottagecore like people making videos of their cottages or something?
Kind of. So
Okay.
cottagecore is like a style now.
Oh.
So remember when like normcore, I feel like normcore was the first time I heard the word core added onto something to describe a style. Do you remember that?
Okay. This is all new to me.
Okay. Um, well, in the beginning of time, just kidding. um, I'm just gonna describe cottagecore to you. So basically,
Okay.
it's like a style where you like look like you live in a cottage. Like you probably have a lot of plants,
Oh,
maybe some chickens. You do a
yeah.
lot of baking. It's like that very kind of earthy pastel, very
Okay.
flowery aesthetic, like picnic vibes.
Yeah.
Um, so I get a lot of those kinds of videos, which like honestly
You
that
like
is the
them?
dream. I would love to live in a cottage and live
Yeah.
that way, you know?
I love
So
TikTok. Are you caught up on like the TikTok drama of today?
like today, like
Of like today
November.
and yesterday and the day
No,
before?
I don't think so.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh. So you
for
know,
our snackers, we're recording this Saturday, November 21st,
oh yeah.
2020.
Okay, so I'm not gonna claim to be like the best person at explaining this, but are you aware of like Charlie D'Amelio?
Yes.
Okay, so Charlie and her older sister Dixie are on
Mhm.
TikTok, and their whole family is kind of famous from this TikTok. Charlie is like the first person to ever get close to 100 million followers on like
Mhm.
almost any platform ever. So like I don't think anybody's ever had 100 million on YouTube or anything. So
Really?
yeah, I think so. She's like very famous basically across
Wow.
the world.
Mhm.
But she's 16 and her older sister is 19, and their family moved out to LA to like pursue this like TikTok fame. And so
I don't get this whole moving to LA when you're like videos are primarily just you
no, it's
dancing.
it's the collaboration opportunities, I think,
But
because
like,
they're
does she really need that?
I don't
During a
know.
pandemic? Here's the
No,
thing,
yeah,
like,
oh,
in normal
I know,
times, it's
yeah.
like, yeah, you're gonna go to social like, you're gonna go, like, what is it called? Smoozing? Schmoozing?
Schmoozing,
Schmoozing.
schmoozing,
Yeah.
schmoozing.
Like, in normal times, you would be
Yeah,
doing that, like, going to events and,
yeah.
company, corporate kinda things.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh, no.
pandemic, so,
These
like, what is the
TikTok
point?
teens these TikTok teens are not following protocol, and they
Okay.
are, um so Charlie and Dixie, they have, like, this big, nice house and stuff, and their family has a YouTube channel. So it's like the
The
D'Amelio family
family.
YouTube channel, and so they did a video called Dinner with the D'Amelios, kind of a cute name, you know,
Mhm.
and, so they filmed this video, they had a private chef, it was the dad's friend, who was the chef, and he is a chef, and the chef made like this like paella or whatever with snails.
Mhm.
And so the kids, Charlie and Dixie, are picky eaters.
Mm,
And so in the
don't
video,
love that.
like Dixie, the older sister, basically like throws up because of the snails, and like, and then
They
so she's
show her throw up.
well, they don't show, like, her throw up, but, like, that's part of the video is, like, she goes outside and throws up, and so, anyway, people are saying that she's, like, really rude to the chef and, like, ungrateful and, like, kind of like a spoiled brat kinda thing, and her sister, Charlie, the more famous one, she has 98 million followers or something,
Mhm.
and or I think it was, like, 99, and they were reflecting on the fact that it's only been a year that they've been famous, and so they were saying, like so Charlie was saying, it would be so cool to get 100 million followers 1 year after I get 1 million followers. And
Uh-huh.
then everybody was saying she seems like really ungrateful because of like 99 isn't enough for her. Like she wants
Yeah.
100. Anyway, so then there was like all of this drama because all these other TikTokers and like honestly like some older people who were like famous like really in like the YouTube days,
Uh-huh.
um, like were commenting on it and like being kind of trashy and like calling her out like she's a 16-year-old girl and stuff. And
Yikes.
so it was just like this huge drama, and obviously James Charles was involved because there
Obviously. Wait, what was his input into this? Because
because he's
obviously he was
because
involved.
because he's friends with Charlie D'Amelio,
Oh, he
and he was
is.
on the episode of this Dinner with the D'Amelios. Like,
Mhm.
they have a guest come over, and he was, like, more mature than both of them, like, he is more of, like, a I don't know, like, a business person, like, he knows a little bit more about
Yeah.
how to be, like, respectful and, like, an adult. He also is a little bit older, but, like,
How old is he?
I think he's, like, 22, like, he's not that
Oh,
much
okay.
older, but, like, they're, like, 16 and 19, so, like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Big difference.
So anyway, I last night I was like looking at all this stuff, like going to everybody's profiles, seeing what they had to say, and I ended up. Guess where I ended up? Just give me a wild guess where I ended up.
Trisha Paytas.
PerezHilton.com.
Okay, almost the same thing. Almost the same.
What
Is
did you
that
what was
still an existing
It's an
website?
existing website. I highly encourage everybody
Oh my, no, I
to
don't want him
go.
to get ad dollars from me.
No, I do
No.
not either. Okay, so I remember Perez Hilton, obviously was so bad and like so
I
bullying
remember he
everybody.
used to draw like wieners onto photos of celebs and stuff.
Yeah. So I remember one time, like it was like 2013 or something, maybe like 2015.
Mhm.
He went on Ellen, and who like is a whole other story. And she was asking him about like him being mean, and he was saying like he's making an announcement that he's like not going to be mean anymore. So like
Yeah, right.
Ellen was like, okay, well, like you're gonna lose money. Like, are you really gonna stop being mean? And he was like, yeah, like I know it's the right thing to do. So that's like the last I ever heard of Perez Hilton. And
Mhm.
then last night I go on TikTok. He made like 30 TikToks yesterday about this drama. And it is so mean and
Oh
insane
my
and nasty and
god.
like just like kind of scary. And I found out,
Scary?
yeah, like it was like kind of creepy. Like, um,
Oh.
it was like, I don't know if demonic is the right word for it, but,
Demonic.
but like,
Satanic.
yeah, it was kind of like, it was scary. Like if
Oh
he
my
showed up
gosh.
and talked to me on the street with like that
Yeah.
voice and like those eyes, I would be scared. And I found
And
out,
you live in New York, so you
yeah,
know that. Oh, wait, how
yeah,
many years have you lived in New York now?
6 years.
I saw your post. Yes.
Yeah.
That's so
And
exciting.
then so I found out that Perez Hilton has 3 kids and he's a single father. And
Wait, what?
he had kids via surrogacy, and he
Mhm.
said he spent $1 million on them.
Oh my god.
And so anyway, I'm like, if this was my dad and he's making all these videos about the
Mhm.
16-year-old girl, I would be so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's like my overview of the TikTok drama these days. So if you're not on
That's
TikTok, get on
crazy.
TikTok. Follow me at the real Ben Hawes. I do not comment on these things, but I make funny videos anyway.
Yes. Literally literally go follow him. Um, yeah, my I don't see any of that kind of drama on my TikTok. It's like what is my like I get a pretty wide variety of genres on TikTok, but
Yeah.
I never get the like I guess Gen Z
I'm very in
stuff.
tune with the Gen Z stuff these days. Like I love it. I follow it. I know all the words. I like
Wait, what are the like newest words? Because I don't think I even know.
So it's funny. I'm part of a networking group. It's called Badassery, and it's like this group for like diverse rising leaders. Anybody can
Wow.
join, and it's very like cool and like kind of exclusive just because like you have to apply. And
Mm.
there's this one girl in the group, and she's 20, so she's like a Gen Z, and
Mhm.
she actually this week like led a training on like Gen Z and like what to know
No
about like
way.
how they are as consumers and like how to market to like Gen Z and like different things. And she put up all these words, and she was like having us guess like what they were.
Oh my god, this is fucking genius.
And I like knew a lot of them.
Wait,
Like
okay,
like
so like what?
simping.
Okay, yes, I know that.
Like no cap.
Okay,
No
I
cap.
don't really know. I've heard that, but I don't really know what it means. Does
Okay,
it mean
so like
like period?
no, it means like I think it
Oh.
means like I'm not lying. Like it means like I just went to the mall, no cap. Like I actually
But
did
what
go to
is
the
no
mall.
cap? Like what
Oh,
is
I
a
think
cap?
she explained it. So
Oh,
a cap is like a hat,
yeah.
and when you're being shady or like when you're like doing something wrong, like you wear a cap.
Oh my. I literally, I would have never guessed that. Like
So
what
like
the
you're like
fuck?
out in the open, like you're telling the truth. That's what I think it means.
Cap? Like
Yeah.
I I thought it had to do with like maybe like capital letters. Like I
Right.
truly
I saw a
did not know.
TikTok where like they had like 4 generations of people, and
Uh-huh.
they asked them like what does cap mean? And like the grandpa was like, "Oh, a baseball cap." And the dad was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pop a cap in your ass." And then
Fucking boomers. That's boomers for you. Holy
and then
shit.
the kid was like I can't I can never think of like an example of like what you would say, but like I just ate a salad, no cap. Like I don't know. Like
As if you would like lie about eating a salad.
I was like, it was so funny. And then there was she had one that was like no with the heart emoji.
Uh-huh.
So, like, if you see someone comment, like, "No" with a heart emoji,
Oh,
it's
that's
like
like, no.
yeah, it's like, "You're cute, but no."
Yeah.
Like, if someone posts, like, something political that's, like, just really stupid, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if someone
Okay,
claims they won the
that one
election
wait, what'd you say? I just talked
like
over
like, I said, like, when someone claims they won the election when they didn't, you'd be like, "No, heart."
and then I'd be like, "You're stupid, no
Yeah.
cap."
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
though, but the no with the heart I first saw from either Dacia or Cece, like, they
Mhm.
really keep me, like, on my
Yeah,
toes
very
as
I
far as what
know.
they're saying. Sometimes I'm truly like, sorry, what does that mean?"
Yeah. No,
I,
I
like,
know.
don't know some of these terms, and I'm,
They're
like, on
so
Twitter, but
cryptic.
I guess, like, the people, again, that I see on Twitter are also, like, more my age, so
Wait, can we talk about Twitter?
I
Okay.
fucking could talk about Twitter forever.
Okay, I feel like Twitter I have this interesting relationship with where I absolutely love it,
Mhm,
hands
mhm,
down.
mhm.
Love Twitter,
It's
love
my number
making
1 of all time.
I love following people on Twitter. I think it's, like, a great place because it's, like, one of the only apps that, like, you don't have to be hot to be good at it.
Yeah, and it's so easy to share things. Like, I
Yeah,
think Twitter is so much more a conversation,
yeah,
and, like, Instagram is like and I think TikTok is kinda cool because it encourages, like, duets and
yeah,
responses, so that is kind of, like, the bridge I feel between Instagram and Twitter and far as, like, sharing things in conversation. But, like, Instagram, in order to share something, it either needs to
oh,
be in
yeah,
your story or, like, you have to download another app that, like,
yeah.
reposts, and, like, I don't wanna do that.
Yeah, I think the one thing I noticed okay, so all these apps are changing all the time, right?
Oh my god.
Like
Wait,
Instagram, they
Twitter
have
got this story and then got rid
Fleet.
of it already.
Oh, they already got rid of it?
That's what I
Good.
heard. I
I
never actually updated it to get it, so
I
I
did.
still haven't seen.
I just saw it was so pointless because people were just uploading their tweets into their stories and, like, putting a little comment. And then, like, some people were just uploading their normal Instagram stories to their
Ugh.
Fleet, which, like, Fleet, what does that mean? Like, I have a friend who thought it was, like, Fleet because it, like, goes away really
I
fast.
yeah, I thought it meant because it's, like, fleeting.
That's dumb. It's Twitter stories. That's what it's called, Twitter stories.
I just don't want it to exist because that's not why I'm on Twitter. I'm not on
I don't
Twitter to, like, see what people are doing all day. On Twitter to, like, get news, hear
yeah,
jokes, watch funny videos, and, like,
yeah,
be stupid with my friends.
right, and, like, also a very select group of my friends. Like,
Yeah.
not everybody is on Twitter, which I like.
Oh, and not everyone that I follow on Instagram am I gonna follow on Twitter. Like, let's
Yeah,
just no cap.
yeah,
If they're like, "I'm following you. Do you wanna follow me?" I'll be like, "No, heart."
yeah. You got it, you're
I'm
on it.
so cool. I'm so Gen Z. What was the other
Yeah,
thing? Simp.
yeah,
I simp for funny people on Twitter.
yeah. You don't need anybody who's simping for you.
No, I do want people simping for me.
You don't but you're not gonna follow them back if they're
Oh, no,
simping
no,
for you.
no, 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 heart.
Yeah. No heart. You should release a snack time dictionary of Gen Z,
Oh my
like,
god, wait, I'm
as,
literally
like, an
writing that
Instagram
down.
post. That would be funny. And,
Snack
like, you could relate
time.
it to snacks.
Yeah, like
Or,
how I
like,
would
make it for
describe different
Thanksgiving.
snacks. Ben, can you just manage me and tell me what to do? Gen
Like a
Z.
Thanksgiving, like, I love turkey, no cap.
I'm literally I love turkey. No,
That
ca
would be
actually,
so
I
funny.
don't love turkey though, so I'd have
I
to
don't
change that
either.
to something
I don't
else.
even care
We're
about
not
turkey.
even having turkey. It's just gonna be me, my mom, and my dad, and we're gonna have ham. Like, we're not
Yeah,
even doing turkey.
I have no, like, Thanksgiving plans, and my friend it's really funny, my best friend Kelly was like, "Oh, you should get, like, a turkey breast or whatever and, like, get mashed potatoes and, like, just make a dinner for one." And I was
Mhm.
like, "That sounds pretty depressing." I was like, "I would literally would rather order Shake Shack and just,
Oh
like,
my
celebrate Thanksgiving."
I think it sounds fun, and I think really, though, like, because 'cause I've always lived with roommates or at home, and I think I'm just really ready to live by myself, and so anything
Yeah.
that's, like, like, just me doing it or, like, dinner for one or anything like that, I'm like, "That sounds so fun."
Thanksgiving for me is so interesting because like, growing up, my family dinners were not they were not very like, there's a lot of conflict and a lot of fighting in my family
Mm.
dinners,
Mhm.
and so Thanksgiving was always, like, a family dinner, like, heightened, like, on steroids,
Yeah.
and, like so it was, like, higher tensions, higher
Mm.
stakes, and everybody's just more angry. And then there's so many chores on Thanksgiving that you have to do. Like
Oh,
my dad, my dad would always, because my mom was like cooking and needed like the house. My
mhm.
dad would make us like go outside and do yard work on Thanksgiving. And so we would be like raking leaves and like pulling weeds and stuff. And like I always just realized I was just like, when I grow up, like I'm never doing chores on Thanksgiving. And
Yeah.
then it's like you have to set the table, and my family has like my mom has like her grandmother's like silverware, from like whatever year, and like it gets so dirty across the year because we only use it once a year. So like
Mhm.
in order to use the silverware, you have to like rewash it and then like set it out on the table and then like eat like a meal that's not that good. Like it's not like Thanksgiving food is not like it's not the greatest food of all time. It's for me, just myself.
Mhm.
And then you have to like clear the table, put everything in the dishwasher, wash all the pans. Like you're making like 20 different types of food. So that's 20
Yeah.
different types of pans.
Mhm.
And so then it's like me and my siblings are fighting over like who gets to wash and who gets to dry the dishes. And it's just like not a good like holiday for me.
Yeah, that sounds like a fucking not great time.
Yeah, so I remember when I was 17 and I was in high school, my dad was having us like rake the leaves and stuff, and I told him that if we were gonna do chores on Thanksgiving next year, like I wouldn't be coming home. I was
I
like,
mean, once you're an adult, it's like it is your choice whether you want to or
yeah.
not.
Well, I just feel like if I'm gonna come home and have like a holiday, like it should be fun and festive and like
Mhm.
we should like be together and like talking to each other and it should be lovely. But like my family also like when we do chores, like it just becomes like a whole conflict because someone's not doing their part or like someone leaves and doesn't come back and like it's just like
Leaves and doesn't
I
like
need a
mid
strawberry.
vacuum just okay, yeah, we need to talk about these straws at some point. But like, yeah, I love that visual of like everyone's like running around the house like fucking Looney Tunes. And then one person's like vacuuming and they're like, I'm just gonna go and like
Yeah.
leaves it in the middle
I
of the
people
living
would do
room.
that, and, like, the other thing is, like, we all would want to wear our headphones and, like, just do our own thing,
Mhm.
like, we always wanted our dad to just, like, give us, like, a list of things to do, and then we could do it with our
Mhm.
like, at our own pace, but he was, like, very collaborative, like and he wanted us all to, like, do the same thing and then move over to the next thing, and, like, he would, like, hand us a box and be like, "Go take this up to this room,"
Mm.
and then, like, we would go up there and then just, like, take a little bit too long to come back.
Yeah, that doesn't wait, how many siblings do you have?
So I had grew up with like a older brother and 2 younger sisters,
Wow.
which is unexpected. People always think I'm an only child.
I mean, I knew that you had siblings, but I didn't like 4 is a lot.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
lot of kids. Like,
It is
I do not wanna have 4
yeah, I know. I don't know what it is, but like it really there's something about my childhood that like really made me think like I'm gonna be single. I'm gonna have no kids. Like I'm just gonna live my life
Wow.
and be free.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like growing up in a six-person household might do that to you.
Yeah, and also, I mean, this is like said with the most empathy that I have in my heart, but like if I'm a parent right now during the pandemic,
Oh
I
my
feel a
god.
little bit miserable, I think.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh,
you
I
love your
would hate
kids.
it.
You love your kids so much, and that makes it worth it, I imagine, but,
Mhm.
like, it would be just doing the distance learning and, like, just the 24/7 with your kids, like, I imagine it would be very difficult. So, like, my heart goes out to those people, and also, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I'm back to nannying,
Yeah,
and so, like, I'm going into their home and, like, I'm there
mm,
for the kids, so I'm, like, doing the distance learning with him,
yeah,
and, like, we're having fun, but, like, yeah, they don't like, kids should be able to, like, go out and do things, like,
yeah,
being cooped up inside, it's like, these are some trying I mean, obviously, we all know these are trying times, but, like, like, I imagine when I was his age, I was, like, running around, playing with my friends at school, and, like,
yeah.
he's just
Back
not
to
getting that this year.
back to TikTok. Are you on, like, teacher TikTok? Like, do you
I
follow
occasionally get teacher TikTok, and I think because pretty early on in me looking at TikTok, I got that one teacher who, like, wears the really, like, fun Miss Frizzle from
Oh,
Magic
yeah,
School Bus outfits, and she's, like, an
yeah.
art teacher, and I followed her, and I think from there, it'll sometimes, like, show up, like,
Yeah.
other teachers on my For You page.
Yeah. I recently started following this teacher who's, like, pretty funny, and
Mhm.
also I followed him because he's hot, but he's also pretty funny.
Wait, what is his name? Do you know what his name
I don't
is?
even know his name, and I put my phone away because I wanted to be respectful
Oh my
of,
god.
like, the podcast environment. I, like, got everything ready. I have my strawberries. I have, like, multiple drinks. I turned off my air conditioner. I have my microphone.
Wait, we need to circle back
What?
for 2 things, multiple drinks
Yes, I
and
have
an air conditioner in New York City on what day is it again? November 21st.
it's okay, yes, it is a little bit warm, though, outside, but I feel like I am also, like, an air conditioner. I sleep with a fan on. Like, I'm one of those people who, like, wants it to be cold in my apartment and then, like, get under, like, the
Yeah.
covers and feel warm.
I mean, I understand that, but, like, what is the temperature outside that you can't just, like, open the
Well,
window?
that's a good point. I feel like I don't know, I feel like I don't open the windows as much as I should, but at the same time, like, my my window opens up to, like, a very popular street in New York.
Mm,
So there's, like, the sound issue where, like,
yes,
it would be, like, so loud and, like, the sirens, like, you may hear them, like, on this microphone, but, like, outside, they're very loud, and
I
my
feel
bed
that.
is, like, at the same level as the top of the fire truck. So, like I feel like I'm hearing it, like, a first degree situation, and
Okay, I
then,
understand.
one time in the spring, I opened my windows because I was, like, cleaning and I wanted to air things out, and I got, like, major, like, allergy situation. And then the other thing is my fire escape is out there, so I'm worried that, like, if I open my window and, like, have the fire escape there, then someone's just gonna, like, or, like, a bird or a squirrel or a rat is just gonna, like, come into my apartment.
Wait, don't you have a screen?
I don't know. But it's like
Get one!
it's the fire escape, so, like, I guess I could take out the if I was, like if there was a fire, I would
Yeah.
take out the screen and then go out the fire escape, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, that's what you would
The other
do.
day so I've
That's
been sleeping
exactly
in.
what you would do.
So the other day, I was sleeping and it was, like, 1 PM because my sleep schedule
Oh
has
my
been
god.
very off, but at the same time, I will say it has improved
That's
because,
good.
for the last month, I stopped drinking soda, which has the caffeine that keeps me up, which
Wow.
is good. So I've been, like, not drinking too much caffeine, just, like, 1 cup of coffee a day.
Mhm.
And I but still my sleeping has been not that great because, like, I don't have a job and, like, I am not waking up for anything, like, there's
Yeah.
nothing to wake up for. And
Mhm.
so I woke up, the other day to a very loud knock on my door, like a very abrupt
That's
knock.
scary.
And I put on pants and I put on a sweatshirt. I was naked at this time. And
Love it.
I went over to the door, looked through my people, and it's a fire, officer. What's it called?
Fireman? Firewoman?
A fire person?
Person?
Yeah,
Firefighter.
a firefighter, yeah, exactly.
Are we fucking stupid?
I need to read more children's books. It's a fire officer, fireman, fire person, firefighter. It was a firefighter.
What?
And he knocked on my door and I opened it. I was obviously, like, totally disheveled and, like, not ready to speak to a firefighter. I forgot again.
Not
A
okay
firefighter.
right now.
And he had knocked on my neighbor's door also, like, across from
Uh-huh.
me. And he was like, "Okay, we're going to be doing drills, like,
Oh my
on your
god.
fire escape." So he was like, "Close your blinds if you want to." And,
No
like,
way.
we're gonna be like, because I live above a fire station, so it's just, like, the closest place for them to
You should
do
be able
that.
to, like, charge them. Like,
I know.
what?
I guess maybe I should. But then so then my I was like, "Okay, this is an interesting dilemma because, like, that's really interesting. Nothing's happening today. Like, maybe I won't close my blinds and I'll just watch them." So, like so I was, like, laying in my bed. I closed half of my blinds, but not the other half, or I should say curtains. And,
Uh-huh.
and so then they started, like, climbing up and down the stairs, and then all of a sudden, one of the firefighters
Uh-huh.
just started standing on my fire escape for, like, 10 minutes, and he wasn't looking at me, but, like, I didn't it felt awkward to close the curtain while he was standing right there. So I just laid there like a little squirrel,
Oh,
like a deer in
no.
the headlights, like, in my bed, and I didn't wanna alarm him by, like, closing my curtain. I felt like that was somehow rude, and so I
Yeah,
waited
like,
until
I don't wanna
he was,
see
like
you.
Yeah, like, he would be like, "Okay, that guy doesn't wanna see me," but, like, of course I don't wanna see him, like and so I,
Want someone
eventually
to be on their fire escape.
but I was at first, I was like, "Oh, it's a fireman," like, the little
Yeah,
boy in me was like, "Oh my god, this is exciting."
yeah.
And,
Plus,
uh
like, you're thirsty and gay, so
yeah, I mean, okay, I will say these firefighters are not what I would want to be,
oh,
like, they're not in the calendar.
how
Like, these
sad.
firefighters like, I noticed, like, their firefighters are, like, pretty average, you know? Like, it's not like I'm not dreaming over these firefighters. Like,
Oh, that's a bummer.
these are the hot gay firefighters' dads. You know, like, where are the real firefighters?
Yeah, what the heck? And you live in, like, a happening part of town, so you
I
would
know.
think
I
you would
know.
get the happening
It
firefighters.
does bring me, like, comfort knowing that, like, if my apartment was on fire, they would just have to, like, put the hose through my window, you
Yeah,
know? But I don't open the windows.
yeah.
So they would have to, like, tell me and the other thing, I will also say, my windows are a little bit just difficult to open. Like, I have to, like,
Ugh,
really put in
yeah.
some effort.
I hate that. That's how my windows were in my last apartment. It was
Yeah.
so annoying.
Yeah. But, you know, whatever. I was probably, like, just bored, probably just, like, working on my Etsy shop or something, just, like, hanging out.
Oh my god, okay. We need to talk about Etsy, but first, we need to fucking talk about these
Wait, these
strawberries.
strawberries, I know, we've been okay, I'm gonna eat a strawberry just to, like, get myself in the
Okay,
mind.
I'm gonna have one too. I'm gonna have, like, this tiny little
I don't wanna
baby
eat it,
one.
like, in the microphone because I feel like it'll be like macaroni in a pot.
Macaroni in a pot. That's what
You know
Oh
what I
my god,
mean?
also, have you listened to Megan Thee Stallion's
No, I
new
need to.
album? Oh,
No, I
you
need to.
fucking
It's a
need
whole
to.
album?
Yes, it's a new album. It's called Good News. Every track is fire. It's like just like such a good album. I've
Okay.
been listening to it nonstop.
Okay, I will
Everyone
listen to it.
needs to go listen. Okay, let's eat these strawberries.
1,
Oh.
2
I already put it in my mouth. Okay, go.
1, 2, 3, go. Mm. So, one of
Yum.
my first early memories of a strawberry was that my mom growing up in our, like, old house, so I must have been, like, 3 or 4,
Mhm.
would make a bowl of strawberries and then pour sugar on it.
Oh, hell
Do you
yeah.
do you do that? Like, I now that
We
I'm
would
older
dip them.
yeah, right, yeah.
Mhm.
Like, that's really good, but now that I'm older, I'm like, "Okay, but strawberries are really sweet." So, like, the sugar is a little
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Yeah. And that's what the difference between, like, boomers and
Mhm.
millennials are, because 'cause we're like, "Wait, wait, wait, we don't need sugar added to this."
Like, a strawberry is arguably one of the most sweet, like, natural foods.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's literally, like, so sweet that it, like I have to, like, wince a little bit. Like, I'm like, oh, this is so sweet."
Yeah, well, and they're, like, a little bit tart too, so it's
Mhm.
like, they're so good. I got my strawberries today from Trader
Mm.
Joe's. Where did you get yours?
Okay, so I had these delivered to my apartment
Mhm.
and along with plenty of other groceries, and I use Instacart, and there's a store in on the East Coast slash in New York called Wegmans, which,
Uh-huh.
if you're from California, like, if you're someone that is from, like, the West Coast, like, you have no idea what it is,
Yeah.
and if you tell someone from the East Coast, they flip out
Like, in a good
because
way or a bad
like,
way?
in a great they think it's the most amazing grocery store of all time because it apparently just has it's really nice, it's huge apparently, and, they have, like, an amazing bakery, amazing, like, options for, like, anything, and they have their own brand of food and their own
Oh.
packaging of stuff, so they, like, will like, for example, like, I've been buying these little snack packs where it's, like, a little container, and in the container is, like, 5 pretzels, a bunch of cheese, an app sliced apples, and, like, grapes or something, and,
Mhm.
like, they just have those, and that's, like, Wegmans brand, and I've been, like, really loving those, or they have, like, just all kinds of, like, cakes and bread and stuff like that. So it's, like, apparently just, like, a super nice grocery store. I haven't been
Mhm.
to it in person, but I've been
Yeah,
ordering from it.
where are they located? Because I don't think I've ever seen one.
Yeah, it's there's one in New York City, and it's new, and,
Oh.
they
Oh.
opened it in Brooklyn, and it was, like, all the rage. Like, people were very excited about it. It's, like and I've seen, like I went to their I went to their website and, like, looked at their, like, video of, like what the store was like, and it does look absolutely amazing.
Oh, wow.
Um, it's like high. I don't even know if it's high end because they have really good prices, I guess. But like,
Mhm.
it's just very nice and like big, and they have everything. So people like adore it, and like it's kind of like, I guess, like how we would say like we love Costco, but it's just that, but like way more.
Wow.
Like it's like an actual nice experience, and they have like apparently just like great flowers, great everything. Like everything is like really nice.
No, I
So
wanna
anyway,
go to one.
I had them delivered from Wegmans.
Wow.
Um
So you're,
and
like, so trendy right now.
yeah, exactly. But I have also not been to it in person, and I have no idea what it is, so I'm a little bit of an imposter. Oh,
But
see,
it's a
there's the
fucking oh, I
sirens.
hear the siren. Yep. Can't
Classic.
say I missed those New York sirens. Oh my god, what was I going to say?
We're talking about strawberries.
Strawberries,
We're talking about
strawberries,
Wegmans.
strawberries, Wegmans. Oh, I was gonna say though, it's a fucking pandemic, so I feel like you getting it delivered is more than understandable at this
Yeah,
time.
right. I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to hear because you have told me like when you usually eat the strawberries, like what the occasion is, but the snackers of snack time need to know. Like,
Yeah. I feel like so every time I'm like trying to be healthy at all, like in any way, shape, or form,
mhm,
I am like always hungry at nighttime.
mhm.
And like I feel like I, as someone who has a messed up sleep schedule, and go like last night I went to bed at 4 a.m. because I was
Oh
on
my
PresHilton.com.
god.
I couldn't go to sleep.
You
I was
got sucked in a fucking wormhole
yeah,
of
and I was
Perez
actually like
Hilton.
reading some articles on PresHilton.com. And
Articles. Articles.
yeah, that's a good point. It was not, yeah, I don't know what they're called, but they're not articles. Um,
What are they
and
called? Like blog posts, I guess?
yeah, I guess so. And um, so like I stay up late at night and stuff. So I find myself very hungry at like 1 a.m. in my bed.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, I could order food, but that's not healthy. That's not a good decision, Ben. And
Yeah.
so I get up and I cut up some strawberries. And I feel like, have you ever heard of the app Noom?
Yes. I've
Okay.
heard of it, and I just know it's, like, related to health.
Yeah, so Noom is a not sponsored. Noom is a an app where they coach you through basically like weight loss, and they actually like teach you about it compared to like actually just counting calories. So like
Mm.
it's kind of like set up like a course where
Hmm,
every day you have reading to do about like what's healthy and like what's not healthy, and like you take quizzes and stuff like that. So
interesting.
it's kind of like very educational. And one the first day they were talking about like a caloric to weight ratio or something.
Mhm.
So they were basically saying like the heavier the food, but the lower the calories, the more impactful that will be to like make you not hungry. So like
Interesting.
a strawberry is like really heavy, but it
Uh-huh.
doesn't have that many calories. So it's like you should eat more foods like that, according to
Oh.
Noom. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
so I tried this for like at the beginning of quarantine, and then I got laid off and I quit. Um, but but they were saying like you should, if you're hungry like at night, like you should eat something like the strawberry or a grape, or like some kind of like vegetable that has a high weight but like a low
Uh-huh.
number of calories, because
Well,
that will
and
actually
fruits
fill
and
you up.
vegetables with a high weight have a lot more water, so I feel like that's
Right.
good too because it's also hydrating you.
Yeah, right. So I think that's what they were saying. So then ever since then I was like, okay, then strawberries are it for me. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm also a creature of habit. Like I don't need a lot of variety in my diet. And
Mhm.
so I just have these strawberries or grapes, and I just, cut them up and then I eat them. And it's I just think like strawberries are one of the best foods in the world. Like that and watermelon. Those are my two favorite like foods where it's just like,
Mhm.
how does this exist in nature? I can't believe it.
Yeah, like, the flavors are so delicious and yeah, like, it's like what we were saying earlier, you don't need to add sugar, you don't need to do anything, like, you
Yeah,
just have to eat it the way it is.
and wash it.
Yeah, just wash it. Watermelons, you don't even have to wash because it has a fricking
Right.
shell.
Yeah, so I've been doing
I
I've
love
been
foods that have their own packaging.
I know. My frugal dad would be so annoyed with me because I've been buying, like, little boxes of already cut up watermelon
Oh,
and, like
oh my god.
and, like,
Ben!
so delicious.
Ben!
It's so delicious, but, like, it's, like, literally, like, $5 for, like, 8 pieces of watermelon,
Yeah.
8 little chunks of watermelon, and it's a great snack, but it's, like, not cost effective.
Okay, a happy medium for you. They don't have it at every grocery store though, so this is it can be, more challenging to find. Instead of like, don't get a huge ass watermelon. Get like the
Yeah,
mini watermelons. And
yeah.
then what you do is you just slice it in half and you
Okay.
can just eat it out with a
Oh my
spoon.
god.
And then you just save the other half like in the fridge. And
Yeah,
that's
for
basically
2
the
hours later.
amount
Want
that you
more.
would get. Yeah. But that's basically the amount you would get in one of those small little plastic containers of
Yeah,
sliced up watermelon, but like
yeah.
probably at least half the price.
But, like, part of this is, like, I need to be able to eat it in bed.
Yeah. So when you cut a
Like, you
watermelon
get
in half, it's its
cut it
own bowl.
right, that's true.
And then you
Oh,
just
I
scoop
was
it out with a spoon.
so last night, I was going through this is kind of a tangent. I was going through other as all of them are. Um, I was going through, I was going through Instagram, and I was looking at people from high school who follow my best friend because my best friend's from high school.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to see, like, I've been on this little path of, like, following people from my past and, like,
Interesting.
basically, like, having
I've been
conversations with
unfollowing
them.
people.
I realized from high school, like, I have cut it out a little bit, and I've kind of, like, put it in this category of, like, something that was bad, but actually,
Mm,
like, I did enjoy high school, and there were plenty of
mhm,
people that I got along with great, and, like, that I actually started to, like, realize, like, why did I ever unfollow this person, or why did I never follow this
mm,
person in the first place, like,
mhm.
and it's been kind of, like, healing to, like, reconnect with some people because it's showing me that, like, no, like, not everybody in high school hated me, like, I was actually,
Yeah.
like, incredibly popular. Like, and, like, I had a lot of friends and, like, they all are happy to reconnect with me because I
That's
think there are
so
just, like
good.
there are, like, certain people who, like, in high school, like, it's kinda like the comments, like the YouTube comments, like, you get one bad comment and you're like, "Oh, everybody hates me." It's kinda like
Mhm.
that in high school where, like, if one person made it bad for you, then
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, like, I can never go to my high school reunion," or, like, "I can
Mhm.
never, like, think about high school ever again." But then I was just like, "No, like, I actually was the student body president and I was on the homecoming court and everybody loved me." So,
I
like
I, like, feel that so deeply because I mean, I'm still very close with, like, my close friends,
right.
most of my close friends in high school. Um, so obviously I have great memories with them because continue to make even
Yeah.
better memories with them outside of high school and, like, the insane social limitations and
Yeah.
challenges that high school, like, presented to our friendships.
Right.
Um, but I did have, like, people that were shitty to me, and it's
Yeah.
I think mainly because I was, like, quote unquote popular, like, I was the pep rally commissioner, I was involved in
Yeah.
every single thing in theater you could do, I was in choir, I was in drama, I was a tech, like, like, I was just very involved, very everywhere, and
Right.
so I think because of that, that is why some people were a little more vocal about not liking me
Right.
because I was, like, in their face
And you were like
constantly.
you were like kind of making decisions on the behalf of them in some ways. Like I feel like when I was the student body president, there was like this like there was like these two guys who at our school the student body president would like give the speech at graduation, like that was like part of the job,
Mhm.
and they like were starting a campaign to get like someone else to like
My
give the speech.
god. That
And
is so dramatic.
it was like I think they just genuinely didn't like want me to give the speech because they didn't like me
Yeah.
and because they like didn't think that I would like basically mention them or
Mhm.
like give them like I don't know, time of day or whatever. And then
Right.
those same kids um were at our, we had a homecoming court and a homecoming king and queen, but we
Mhm.
didn't have a prom king and queen.
Oh,
Um
interesting.
and we just didn't have that. And
Yeah.
so these same two kids like started a campaign to like get a prom king and queen. And
Mhm.
we were like, sure, like, okay, like, do you want to run the prom king and queen program? And like,
Mhm.
if you want to give up your prom and like count votes during prom, like, sure.
Yeah,
Like,
someone has to do the work.
yeah, and we just didn't have that, like, program at our school,
Mhm.
and it was, like, a week before, and so we didn't have time to set it up or anything, and
Yeah.
so I think because we said no and, like, I was the president and, like, I crushed their dreams, then they were like, "Okay, we have to have someone else give this speech,"
Oh
and
my
then they
god.
it was like this and it was, like, so crazy, and then because they it was, like, in the time of, like, Facebook fights.
Oh my
So, like,
god.
they were posting on Facebook and, like, all of my friends were posting and all of their friends were posting, and, like, one girl, like, printed it out and brought it to the vice principal, like, saying it was, like, cyberbullying and stuff, and it was just
Imagine printing out a Facebook page.
I know. Well, I think it was, like and there was also, like, I won, like, the presidency,
Mhm. Yeah.
like, the student body presidency, but there was another person who was running against me, and he
Uh-huh.
had a lot of friends. It was kind of like I was the Biden and he was the Trump.
Oh my god.
That's not fair to say, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. And and all of his supporters were
Yeah.
all of his, like, friends and people were, like, basically, like, the resistance to, like, my presidency, so they
Yeah.
always went against everything that I did. So, like, for example, I went to, like, this leadership camp, like, the year before I became the president, and
Mhm.
I came up with this, like, amazing idea, um, for our homecoming theme. So every year there was, like, a homecoming theme, and each
Yeah.
class would choose, like, a sub theme and, like, make their
Mhm.
float about it, make their t-shirts about it, all that stuff. So I had the idea. I will admit that this is the same year that the Britney Spears Circus album came out,
Oh.
and I was pretty
Oh,
obsessed.
yes.
I was pretty obsessed with that album, and so I decided that I wanted the seniors to be like circus themed because we could build
Uh-huh.
an amazing float. The dance would be circus themed, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
We
And I
definitely
imagine
got influenced by that in our school too.
and so I really thought about it. Like I was really thoughtful about it and I came up with this idea for the overarching theme to be like called class acts. And
Mhm.
so each class would choose like some kind of act that's
Oh
entertainment
my god,
that
cute.
they would do. So it could be like, I don't know, movies or like Broadway or like all these
Mhm.
different things. And so then I was like so excited about it. I was like drawing pictures of like what the dance was going to look like. I was pretty set on it and a lot of people liked it.
But
But
the
then,
basic ass bitches didn't understand it, I
yeah,
bet.
they didn't understand it and they hated it. And they were like, they came in and like started suggesting other things. And I was like, okay, like happy to have the conversation. I was a great leader. And then we voted on it. And guess what won? Guess what they chose?
Like
Eras.
something, oh,
Like the
so overdone.
yeah, just like eras. Like and it has no like connecting theme or anything. So
No.
like we were just like dinosaurs for our like for like our thing and then the dance was dressed it was like as dinosaurs and like I was
No.
just so upset, but I still like went for it. Like I still like
Yeah.
tried to like support it and I don't know.
Mhm.
It was just like a tragic senior year for me.
That is
so
such a
all
bummer.
so all of those people make me feel like, oh, everybody hated me in high school. But I have to remember, like, I was the person that was voted to be the president. Like, there were
Yeah.
enough
You just
people.
had
There
a
were more
super
people.
divided class, it
Yeah.
seemed.
You know what's interesting? I did have a very divided class, and also um, there was this like theme among all of the students that they didn't want to do anything that was like traditional at all, and they wanted to do things that like they came up with everything like brand new. So like the yearbook was different, the
Mm.
dances were different, like everything was different, and like that's cool. Like I'm all for new ideas, but the people coming up with the ideas were not very good. Um, so, like, here's an example. So, like, superlatives, like,
Yes.
cutest
Oh, yeah.
embraces, get best couple, whatever.
Mhm. I was
Um,
most spirited with
yeah,
Chad.
yeah, that's a normal superlative to get, right?
Mhm.
And so we came up with all these new superlatives. I was not a part of this committee, unfortunately,
Did you get
and
voted to something?
I did, and it's I got voted as something, and I just think it's like embarrassing to say because I
Oh,
think
no.
it's like a little bit like I don't know, a little bit racist or something. And, like,
What?
and also, like, just a little bit, like, weird. It's just such a weird topic. So, like, I got voted as I got voted as most likely to adopt a child from a third world country.
Wait, who the fuck approved
I
that?
have no idea.
Okay,
And
there was a teacher in charge of
yeah,
wait, these were in your yearbook, right?
yeah, in my yearbook, yeah.
There is at least one teacher assigned to oversee the yearbook
Mhm,
club or yearbook class, and
yeah.
they are at fault for this.
So I think that this is at the exact same time that like Angelina Jolie was like adopting all of her
Yeah.
kids and stuff. And so I think what they wanted to come up with something that was kind of like most likely to be famous or something. Like I
And
think
just say
that's
that.
I know. And like now it's like for the rest of my life, like I
Ugh.
can't just be like, oh, I was most likely to this. I have to be like, wait, just before I say
Oh
this,
my
like
god,
so
yeah.
then
<gasps>
they had me like take a picture with like this doll and the doll wasn't controversial, I don't think. I think
Okay,
it's just a doll.
okay. I was scared.
I know. And
I
like
mean,
I
whatever race the doll looks, it's still just, like,
yeah,
not okay. Like, the whole thing
yeah,
is, like,
right.
not okay.
It was and I was just so I was I guess, honored that I got voted something, but I was just always so confused about it. And also, I think part of it was part of it was like they imagined this is all me thinking because I never asked anybody, but I think part of it is they were imagining that like maybe I would be famous and like it's a
Yeah.
celebrity thing to like adopt a child, you know,
Mhm.
from a different country. And then also my own sisters are adopted. So like I feel like
Oh.
maybe they connected that somehow and they were like, "Oh,
Mhm.
Ben would do it." So I don't really know,
But,
and I
like,
just
the from a third world country part
yeah,
is what
that's
makes
not
it
good.
inappropriate.
Yeah,
Like, adopt a
right,
child, okay, cool, that person just
yeah,
seems, like, really nice.
right, and then also
Yeah.
I think part I think everybody did know that I was gay, and
Yeah.
they knew that, like, I would if I'm gonna have kids, it might be for adoption.
This is so many levels of not okay to be
But,
going
like,
on in a high
there was a
school.
like, there was another one that was, like, most likely to, like, cure cancer, and it was, like, just the biggest nerd, you know? And, like
Yeah, okay, so I see how they, like, try to make everything, like, more
yeah,
clever, but it's like,
yeah,
when it comes to superlatives and you're, like, literally just making judgments about people, like, that's
yeah,
what superlatives are. It's just they're polling, like, yeah, they're just you're
it's not
judging people.
I know, exactly, and so I just, like, feel like it's, like, the part of my yearbook that, like, I'm just like, I hope never nobody ever sees that, like, no one ever, like,
Yeah,
pulls
but
like, when I get
also
famous
they
one day,
voted
like
for it.
right, like, what was I supposed to do? And,
Like,
like, even
denounce
then,
your
like, I knew it
throne.
was weird. Yeah, I should have been like,
Yeah.
"No, absolutely not.
Oh my
Vote me
god.
hottest or cutest in braces."
Oh my god, wait, Ben, it's already 10:44. We need to end in 5 minutes. We haven't talked about okay, very quickly, in
Yeah,
5 minutes, we have
okay.
to talk about your side hustle. Okay, so here's my link from I had this full disclosure. Okay, we just keep it real here at
Yeah,
Snacktime. I had
full
this whole plan.
transparency.
I was like, okay, we're gonna shift from strawberries to like Ben's side hustle because strawberries are part of the snack time merch. If you didn't know, we have popcorn merch for salty and strawberry merch for sweet. Go to Shop Marno on Etsy. And then I was gonna be like, and speaking of merch and Etsy,
Because
check
we
out Ben.
talk about this a
We have
lot.
we have 5 minutes. You have to come back on and we need to talk about it again. You can't
Full
explain it in 5 minutes, but give like a brief, just regular, I guess, plug for your Etsy.
Yeah, okay, so I started an Etsy shop back in April when I got laid off, from my job that I liked, you know, and I feel like I didn't have to get laid off.
Yeah, I
But the
like
COVID
you
thing
were so fucking good at that. Like you created the job that you had.
yeah,
Like that.
right.
Oh
Yeah, and so
God, I'm still sad about it.
one thing that I really liked about working and, like, the startup culture and, like, I was actually enjoying about, like, working from home and being on Zoom all the time is there were all these little jokes, like, people being on mute or, like, people sharing their screen and, like, no one even know like, anytime someone shares their screen, they're like, "Can everybody see my screen?" And,
Yeah,
like, I just think to me, that's, like, peak comedy, like, I think that's really, really funny.
yeah.
And
It's
so,
office comedy, but from work from home.
yeah, and I've always had this, like, dream for, like, 3 years of starting a merch store that just has, like, business jargon that you love to hate.
Mhm.
But, you know, when I got laid off, I had a lot of extra time, and I was thinking about, like, maybe I should start this shop, and so I went into, like, Canva, the design app, and I started
Yes.
to, like, just design some I wrote down some some funny like jokes and phrases, and I put them on mugs and I put them on Etsy. And this was like aligned with a different project that I was working on, which is no longer a part of what I want to talk about, but it's fine. but
Trashed.
but
That part of your
I
life
started,
is over, no cap.
yeah. Yeah, I was like no heart to that project.
No.
Um, and I started this Etsy shop and it just started to work. Like I started to make sales because I was posting about it a lot.
Mhm.
And so then I became really into it and I started to make more and more products. And then I started to really like look into like the how to make it successful on Etsy. Like there's all these videos on YouTube. I probably spent like I want to say like maybe 20 hours like watching these videos, and it
Incredible.
was like pure dedication. And so I started to put my learnings into like the Etsy shop. And again, it's like these mugs and hats and like shirts and sweatshirts and stickers. And they all say things like, oh, sorry, I was on mute, or can everyone see my screen? Or let's take this offline, which let's take this offline is always funny because you're always saying it to somebody offline. Like you're always like in a real conversation with someone and you're like, let's take this offline. And so like that's just like the kind of like things that I have and they're cute. They're like millennial pink and like a cute
Mhm.
like mint green. They're really simple designs. And so I've been doing this on Etsy and I'm like my store is popping off. Like I
Yeah.
know I feel like it might be tacky to like talk about like the number of sales that I've
No,
made
I
or
think
whatever,
it's cool.
but like
Like, because this is what we talk about.
yeah,
Like,
I know.
our
So
friendship
like
is me just being like, Ben, I need to be more business minded like you,
yeah.
and me telling Ben like, do everything that you want to do creatively.
Yeah. So, like, I know that it, like, some people might be like, "Oh, why is he talking about that?" But, like, I think it's, like, really important because I feel like our
Mhm.
generation, like, should be talking about money and, like, what's working for us.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
so, I would say, like, in the last 30 days, I have actually sold $1,600 worth of items,
Ben, that is
which,
incredible.
like, it's not all
I literally just
profit.
got chills.
I know. Isn't that crazy? And like I keep getting like these I keep getting like orders of one, but then also like orders of like 8 items where people are like
Wow.
buying them obviously like for their team or for their boss or like things
Yeah.
like that. And it's very fun. So like the Etsy shop has been like working because I think it's just like I think what works about it is like it's a very now thing. It's very trendy and like
Hmm.
it makes people laugh and it's like it's just like a very like natural fit into like what they would buy anyway.
And
Um
plus, like, there is so much stuff designed for office spaces,
yeah,
but now it needs to be for
for your
at
home.
home office spaces. And so you're filling this completely new like void in the market where
Yeah.
it's also can be an uplifting way to, talk about what's going on
Yeah.
versus like, oh, like I'm working from home still, like the pandemic
Yeah.
still isn't over. Like it brings fun and joy into like the survival aspect of
Yeah. And I think it's
today.
and I think it's a good, I've so Etsy, like, marked my shop as a top shop for gifts
No
because yeah,
way.
they, like it's right on the page where it says, like, top shop for gifts, and,
You
so I
are
think
popping off.
so I think it's, like, a really good gift because it helps people, like, connect because they've been making these jokes back and forth to each other, like,
Mhm.
being on mute is such a common thing, and, like, it happens
Okay,
all the time.
I bought my mom the "Sorry I was on mute"
Yeah.
mug because, like, that happens to her all the time. Like, because they have to
Yeah.
always she's on these conference calls constantly, and
Yeah.
sometimes she's muted because she's, like, eating breakfast or, like, she doesn't really need to say anything, and then they'll, like, talk to her, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, I was on mute." And
Yeah.
then I got my dad so my dad doesn't work in an office. He works,
Yeah.
like, out on the field, essentially. He works for Southern California Edison, so he's like driving around to like those stations that have like the huge towers in them and
Oh,
stuff.
cool.
But they are super cautious about social distancing and the safety regarding COVID when you work in a place where you're like walking around and doing stuff, like driving around. So I got him the hat that says, I wait, is it I need my space or
I think it's I need
I
space.
need space. Yes. And I freaking love it. And it's like the opposite of the aesthetic that I do with everything. Like I'm
Yeah.
like more is more. And it's like yours is so simple and clean that I think it's very marketable because it's
Yeah.
simply just like the funny thing with a cute color or
Yeah.
color scheme or whatever. Like my dad's hat is like black with white text.
Yeah,
Got my
right.
mom the
And
pink mug. Like
part of that is I'm not really like a designer. So like I'm not drawing things, like, I'm not
Yeah.
putting together things, and so, like but I also think, like here, I'll show you just so you can see it. I have my
Yeah.
"Sorry, I was on mute." It's just, like, a square with the
Mhm.
words in it, and it, like, gets the point across, and it's, like, very simple and, like, minimalistic, which has not always been my aesthetic. I used to be very maximalistic.
Yeah. But for,
Um
like, a quote, unquote, "professional" setting,
Yeah,
it's
right,
much more professional.
right, and you can see the words, it's just, like, bam, right in your face.
Mhm. I'm
So anyway,
obsessed.
people can if anybody's interested in these gifts, especially if you want to like do a secret Santa or like
Mhm.
anything where you're like getting a gift for like if you're a manager and you want to give a gift to like all of your team members or you have a friend that you like are constantly making these jokes with, you should definitely go to
Oh my god.
oh my god.
Don't die before you can give the plug.
Definitely go to etsy.com/shop/upskilled swag because that is where you can find all this stuff. You can also find me I post about it a lot on Instagram. So
Mhm.
if you just go to Instagram and follow me at the real Ben Hawes, Hawes is Hawes. So it's at the real Ben Hawes on Instagram. That's where you
Mhm.
can find all of my projects that I'm working on, including like all of my videos and all of my little tweets and all of my TikToks. You can see my TikToks on my Instagram. I think it's fun to post TikToks on Instagram
I
because
think
like
it is too.
a whole different audience gets to see them. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll definitely hear about the mugs. And there's a link in my bio for that.
Love it. Live, laugh, love. Look, we are just a little over 10:50.
Yeah. Well, we
Um,
I think it will
Ben is
be
having a
I think it
photo
actually will
shoot,
be fine.
so
I think it will actually be fine because remember we, like, had a little mishap.
oh, that's true. That's true. I could not figure out my audio issue. Um, Now is the time when I usually ask, "Do you have anything to plug?" But we just spent, like, 15 minutes plugging, which I
I'm
love.
a natural plugger. I
Okay,
knew it this
seriously
time.
though, that's how we are different because, like, you are so good at, like, naturally plugging things and, like, this is a skill that I need to improve on, like, basically promoting yourself. Like, you are
Mm,
so good at, like, at least seeming very confident, you
I
know?
am very confident.
I know.
You know what I actually think we can talk about this another time, but we can also talk about it right now. I think the
Do we have
best
time? Do you have to
just like no, it's oh, yeah, we have time.
Okay, okay,
It's gonna take 30 seconds for me to say this.
okay.
Um, but, like, I listened to an interview, I think it was with Oprah and Tracy Ellis Ross,
Mhm.
and she has her I think it's called Pattern Beauty, her hair care.
Oh, cool.
Tracy Ellis Ross has, like, a really good hairline and stuff, or not her hairline, but a hair line.
Hair products.
And I learned this from her because, um she didn't just talk about herself and then at the end be like, "Oh, and then I have this hair care line." They made it
Mhm.
like part of the interview, which is I think what you just did, made it like part of the interview
Yeah.
so that actually you can talk for longer about it and tell the story behind it and get more
Yeah.
people like involved and like excited about it rather than just being like, "Oh, by the way, I have this thing like off,
Mhm.
at the end." So I feel like that's like a good like Oprah obviously like, wrote out her little questions and stuff like that.
Ugh.
Have you watched Oprah's Apple TV show?
Is that the one that Gaga was on? Or is that
Mm,
different? Oh, no,
no.
that was like a conference. No, I haven't. I haven't watched much Apple TV. I watched, like, the first 2 episodes of the morning show. I did
Yeah,
really like it, but then that was the time where I just, like, didn't watch any TV. It was, like,
yeah,
while I was working and stuff.
yeah. The morning
Um
show is really good, and then James Corden's Carpool Karaoke is on Apple TV,
Oh,
which
it is?
I just, like, love that format. I think it's
Yeah.
so funny, and then Oprah has a really good show. It's, like, the first do you know the guy, I think he's a football player, and he is the guy who says, who does a lot of work around uncomfortable conversations with a black man?
No.
Okay, so
Oh,
he's this
I'm
guy, I don't
interested.
remember his name. I don't remember his name, and I should remember his name. But he's a football player, and he's been doing all of this work around having uncomfortable conversations with white people.
Mhm.
Um, and it's a show, it's a book, it's like an Instagram. Anyway, so Oprah had a show, and she did 2 episodes with him where she had all these white people who were in different like stages of accepting the fact that racism exists.
Wow.
And they were all having conversations with this guy who's really smart and like can just really like understand where someone's coming from and have a conversation with them, which is why I think
Mhm.
it's like kind of a magical show. And then she also like recently interviewed Obama, which was big, and she interviewed Dolly Parton. Which
Literally, I want to watch all of these episodes.
the reason why I brought this up is because Oprah is a real. I know that I'm not breaking any like news here, but Oprah is a very good interviewer. She
Oh,
really does her
hell yeah.
research.
Hmm.
And when she was doing Dolly Parton, like I don't think Oprah is like an expert on Dolly Parton, but she knew everything to ask to Dolly Parton.
Wow.
And I feel like that's like I want to be the kind of person that can do interviews like that. And so
Hmm.
I feel like now I have this lens with Oprah where I'm like watching it like, okay, what is she doing? Like how much prep did she do? And I know that like she has teams of people doing this,
Hmm.
but like she in the moment can have a conversation with anybody.
Hmm. I think she's just such a good conversationalist
Yeah.
that that's how she really gets people to admit things to her, or she
Yeah.
gets the scoop because she just makes people comfortable
Yeah.
enough to just have a real conversation, and then they find themselves telling her things that maybe afterwards are like, oh, didn't want to talk
I
about that.
know. Oh my
But yeah,
gosh.
she's like
Anyway,
such a genius.
that's my third plug is go watch Oprah. I think it's just an Oprah conversation or something on
Hmm.
Apple TV.
Love it. Wow. Well, this, as always, has been such a good conversation with you, Ben. Thank you so much for joining me again at Snack Time. It's been iconic. You're obviously going to be back
Oh yeah.
with like a new side hustle, probably, and like more things to plug. Thank you, listeners, snackers. Do we like snackers? Are we going with snackers as like the
Yeah.
name for us? I
I
think
mean, what else
so.
would it be? This yeah, or like the snack time babies or something.
So like we're snackers, and then like, hey, snack time babies, like when we like want to be
We
cute
need
about
a
it.
name for the fans because our I know we're ending, but like, didn't you say that like people are starting to like really listen? Like your numbers are
Okay,
going up?
so what's weird is my streaming from like podcast apps
Yeah.
is going down, but
Oh,
my YouTube posting is popping off. My last three episodes all have, I think, like around or over 200
that's
views,
insane. That's
which is
insane.
insane for my channel. And I
Have you
have,
had more subscribers?
yeah, okay, not a lot, but I
Yeah.
just saw this morning I got another one. Let me look
Yeah.
so I can give you the exact number.
Yeah, I
I
want
have
the exact
192 subscribers.
what?
Like, I
That's
mean,
great.
that's not a
I think no,
lot,
it's great
but
because I think I have 18.
you also like don't post videos though.
I
I'm
know.
posting at least once a
I did
week.
actually post a video on YouTube, where I talked about, like, my Etsy and, like, how to
Yes.
get it started, and I have 800 views on that,
Oh
and
my
I keep
god.
getting comments, and people are like, "This is so great, like, thanks for the tips," and then
Oh,
people are
yay.
subscribing. So, like, I think I have, like, a world where, like, I can make tons of videos about side hustles and, like,
Oh, hell
have
yeah.
it go well, but, like, that's a lot of work too.
Yeah, that's like a side hustle in itself to
Right.
like talk about side
Did you find that
hustle.
oh, you told me the number. It was what is it? How many subscribers?
192.
Okay, if you are on YouTube, if you are on the podcast, make sure the only thing that you do today is go and subscribe to Michelle's channel on on YouTube because
I
she needs
love that
more
you're
subscribers.
plugging it for me.
She needs more subscribers. It's actually a great experience because when you're on YouTube, I don't know if you guys are out there like watching YouTube as much as I am because I'm
For
watching it a
me. Oh, that's
lot.
all I watch.
Because but when the new episode comes up, it's like the first thing that pops up if you're subscribed. So you can just watch it and she puts a beautiful little graphic and it's nice because you can listen to the episode while you're doing other things compared to like if I feel like I listen to podcasts like when I'm walking to work and I don't do that anymore. So like
Mhm.
the video part is good because I can just listen to it on my computer and have it up and like work on other things, clean my apartment if I want to. And it's
Yeah.
just really great.
Wow, thank you for plugging me.
I will always plug you.
I love it.
That will be my next that's my next hit single, I will always plug you.
And I
Yes.
will always plug you.
That is really good. And I got a
That's
song, it's
genius.
been a great morning.
We need to do a song collab, I think.
Mhm,
That's like what we haven't done yet
mhm.
together.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's got to be it. I will always plug you because that's true, like
Because we
each
do,
way.
like, we are always promoting each other.
Because also, like, we're the most attention whore people, I think, in each other's friend groups that, like, there is stuff to promote because we're
Yeah,
always like, look at me, look what I'm doing.
I know. I followed this guy, like I was saying from high school, I followed some people, and there's
Mhm,
some people from high school that I followed, and I was like, "Oh my god, like, they're gonna be in my life again," and they
mhm.
post, like, once a year, and I'm like, "That's pointless."
Yeah, like, I
Now
wanna
my
follow
ratio is
people
off.
that are that is
I
so
must
funny.
unfollow.
Must unfollow. Okay, we have now I okay, you're not gonna be late for your photo shoot, are you?
Oh, I have a photo shoot.
Yeah.
I'm actually I next time I'm on, I'm gonna have something else to plug.
Okay, I
It's
love
a
it. That
friend's
makes sense.
business, and
Oh.
she's doing some great things. So we're gonna do some product photos for her and some modeling photos.
Oh my god, what a
Um,
teaser right
and
now.
I know it's really cool. She's starting her own little side hustle, her own little business. And so today, after this podcast, we're gonna like go to the Lower East Side, find some cool areas, and like use my camera to like take some good pictures for her, like product photos.
Oh my god, love it.
And then
Okay,
obviously, like I'm
so
gonna have her take a picture of me
I mean, duh. So everyone listening right now, make sure you are subscribed to Snack Time either on my YouTube Marno Show or on your favorite podcast apps like Apple, Spotify, whatever. So you know the next time Ben is going to be on and he will share this fun news and a new plug to plug. Make sure you're following Ben on everything.
at the real Ben Hawes.
Yes. And I hope you have a good day. And if you enjoyed some strawberries with us, I hope your strawberries were delicious and juicy and sweet. And maybe covered in sugar if that's how you want to
Maybe
eat
covered
them.
in sugar. Yeah. All right.
All right. I'll see you guys next time. Ben, thank you again for being here.
Bye, snackers.
Bye.